Wow, what a difference a year makes. 1 year ago, crypto ads were rampant in the Super Bowl, and this year, there is zero representation from crypto companies in the big game. We've got CPI data coming out, which proves to be the biggest moving factor for XRP and XLM. And regulators in the United States have crushed two companies out there that I have to share with you. This all has to do with over-regulation, staking, yield, and earning interest. Got an amazing show for you leading up into the big game. Bitcoin sitting at 21,855, ETH 1534. XRP, one of the highlights of the show, sitting at 38.3, down 0.2. XLM, up almost a whole percent last 24 hours, sitting at 8.6. A year after the crypto bull, crypto ads vanished from the big game. A year later, the industry has been humbled by a massive downturn in crypto prices, as well as the bankruptcy of several well-known companies. The dramatic turnaround harkens back to 2000 when .com companies such as Pets.com and Toys.com ran Super Bowl ads only to go out of business within a year or two later. That's right, similarities between the two markets are happening. This year, crypto companies have zero representation, said Mark Evans, Executive Vice President of Ad Sales for Fox Sports. Man, 1 year ago, crypto was ruling the roost, money was pouring in, and now things are quiet. But hey, you know what that means? Utility will rule the roost, and we're flushing out bad actors. Nexo reveals when it will halt its earn program for U.S. customers. Yes, Nexo as well as Kraken have both been taxed by various alphabet agencies. Wait until you hear the agencies that are taking a bite out of crypto. It's not just the SEC. Nexo will stop providing its earned interest product to U.S. customers as of April 1st, 2023. April Fool's Day. This is a direct consequence of the company's recent settlement with U.S. regulators, in which it had to pay $45 million in fines. Recall the agreement agreed between Nexo, the U.S. SEC, as well as NASAA, concluded on a no-admit, no-deny basis and closed a multi-year-long inquiry. The company has now announced it will stop its earn interest product for all customers on April 1st. And as always, any article you see in this video, like a Nexo announcement, will be featured in the description below. Update for U.S. clients, they go through it here. Let me just read off to you a few of the agencies that are taking a bite out of crypto, and then we'll start talking about CPI data, inflation, XRP, and XLM. As you are probably aware, on January 19, 2023, we announced our settlement with the U.S. SEC, the North American Securities Administrators Association, consisting of all 50 states and territories, the AG of New York, the Texas Department of Banking, the Washington Consumer Services Division, and the Alaska Division of Banking and Securities. That's right. Can you imagine how it would be doing this as a crypto company out there? Not only do you have to worry about regulations from the feds, right? The SEC, CFTC, but now you've got all these state bodies. And what Nexo told us as this whole investigation and inquiry was going on, they said, look, the state regulators and the federal regulators, we're not even on the same page and weren't even agreeing with stuff. So even if you were able to comply with federal stuff, the state regulators were like, Nexo, this isn't going to work for us. So Nexo's like, okay, cool. So then we'll, do what the state people say. And then the state people are like, all right, cool. Sounds good for us. But then you know what the SEC said to Nexo? No, we don't like your earned interest product. That's not going to work for us. How the heck do you do crypto business in the United States when we can't even get the state and the feds working together? So yes, we have Nexo now stopping its earned product on the 1st of April, and Kraken out there getting rid of its entire staking arm of business, which, by the way, was given no warning by the SEC. This was yet another bullying move of Gary Gensler puffing up his chest, flexing his trend muscles, going out there and saying, hey, look, we're not even going to give you proper warning. We're not even going to give you professional courtesy. We're just going to walk in, shut you down with a $30 million fine, and your staking business is over. Inflation is wreaking havoc on the American middle class, and 8 out of 10 say they are spending their savings just to get by. Crypto right now is fueled by the retail market, those 8 out of 10 Americans, and all of you out there in the world that are also fighting high prices of eggs, milk, cereal, meat, chicken has gone up crazy. So because of all this inflation stuff, there's less retail money flowing into crypto. This ties in the whole Jerome Powell thing of supply and demand. Markets are waiting for CPI. You better believe it, and so are we. We're going to be live streaming that event. Hit that subscribe button down below. News is going to break at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time regarding CPI data. We're going to be starting the stream early to see the market's reaction before the announcement and a little bit of digestion afterwards. But let's take a look at CPI, and then we're going to hit in the charts of XRP, XLM, and see what we can find from the goodness. Last CPI data we had was 6.5%. We are looking for a target now. 5.9 or less. 6.0 is okay, but 6.0 kind of leaves Jerome Powell and the Fed out there with the idea of, oh God, things aren't going down as fast as possible. Because remember, the last leg of inflation to get things back down to 2.0, because again, these numbers got to get back down to 2.0. That last leg of inflation is the toughest. Usually requires the most strict cost-cutting control, supply and demand action that you've ever seen. So if we get 6.0 and up, I don't think that's good for the markets. Now, what we're really looking for, 5.9, 5.8, 5.7, the lower the better, because that means these rate hikes are actually working. Now, and to show you how much further we have left to get inflation CPI data under control, let's zoom out to the 5-year. Again, we need to be at a target of 2.0. That's this right here, and we are all the way up here at 6.5. So 6.0 on up isn't going to do much long-term for the market, okay? The higher the number is, whoa, bad stuff. If it's a high number, Jerome Powell is going to come out, hey, 50 basis point hit, things aren't slowing down enough. If we come down and we drop below that 6 and we get something juicy like a 5.5, markets will continue to move green. Now let's look at the setup that we got here. Valentine's Day, gents, don't forget. And ladies watching this channel, if your man forgets about Valentine's Day, you make him sub to this channel, because we've been bringing up Valentine's Day for like a week now. So here's the setup with XRP. I would love for XRP to be above that 40-cent mark before we get to this right here, the February 14th announcement of CPI data at 8:30 a.m. The problem is this, though. I don't really foresee any big propulsion of news here within these next couple days to make this happen. Super Bowl Sunday, I don't think the markets are going to crazy move today. Monday, I mean, you're going to have some earnings stuff coming out, but I think the markets are pausing, waiting for CPI data. It sucks, though, because the last CPI data we had drew this big candlestick right here. We went from 34.8 to 37. Now we're right at that 38. So honestly, we haven't really clawed back much time. We lost a whole bunch of time here with this fallout of the U.S. regulator crap. Yeah, come on now. Taking a bite out of Kraken. That really screwed the market over too. Same thing with the whole idea of what they did with Bits Lotto. That really hampered the market. Story is very similar with XM. You can see as I go back and forth on these charts, they almost look identical. XLM, same issue. Huge red candlestick right here when they announced the action against Kraken. That didn't settle right with XLM holders, and we've had just a little bit of clawback since then. Again, I'd rather have 9 cents be the floor we bounce off of rather than the resistance point that we're trying to pierce through. And it appears that that's what the setup is going to look like leading up into this next CPI data. Now, long term for XLM, XRP, here's the thing. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'll go back to XRP after this. The reason we need to see some really juicy CPI data, we still have not eaten up this mess right here. You see that? That's that FTX nasty candlestick. We haven't even come close to clawing our way back yet. And we need to do that. We need to start regaining some of these big milestone numbers, getting back into double digits, breaking through that 11 cents. The last time we broke through double digits from an extended period of single digits, XLM went to 20 cents. Could we see that happen again? Well, we would need a lot of money flowing in to make it happen, and we would also need good positive economic indicators like CPI data this Tuesday to come out to make it look really juicy. But when you look at XRP, that's the same issue I'm seeing here. We never clawed back with what we lost during that FTX time. So honestly, when we zoom back out and you look at where the price is here versus now, I mean, we're June time. We're June. We've gone 7-8 months, and really, where have we gone? Spinning our tires. And all of this has to do with CPI data. It has to do with how crazy inflation is, because it's not just the U.S. I think the Central Bank of India just came out with a 50 basis point hit. You had the Bank of England came out with a 50 basis point hit when the U.S. came out with a quarter. Why? Because England's inflation is higher, and it's more recent than the United States is. So global inflation is a huge issue, and that's why you're seeing all these red candlesticks. That's why you're not seeing a lot of movement here, because cash has been so tight on the retail sector. Why is it so tight on the retail sector? Because inflation is wreaking havoc on the American middle class and global economic classes. That's right, all classes. And 8 out of 10 of Americans say they're spending their savings to get by. So if they're spending their savings, what are they not putting their money in? Retail money isn't going heavy into crypto like we saw in the likes of 2020 and 2021. So Nexo shutting down its Earn program April 1st for all U.S. customers. Now, did you see the list of regulators that were on there? As a business, seriously, you're working with this, and all these regulators have different rules and expectations. How the heck can you run a business like that, especially in an emerging industry? So we've got Nexo leaving the U.S. in that program April 1st. We also have Kraken just got taxed too by the SEC for $30 million. Huge clampdown going on crypto. As if clampdowns by regulators aren't enough, we've got inflation that is just draining money out of the pockets of people across the world. It's not just the US. This is all of us out there that are facing this, but we're facing it in different things. In the US, we have a huge egg problem. We've got a problem with grains and so forth. Other parts of the world, they have other food and other, CPI metrics that are causing them problems. Speaking of CPI metrics and problems, XRP and XLM are not where we want them to be so far, leading up into February 14th's Valentine's Day announcement of CPI data. I'm going to be there live streaming to guide you through the last several CPI data live streams we have. We've had over several thousand of you watching, with the chat being insane and the support from the fans being crazy. Also, that's a good time to bring your questions, because I'll probably answer them on the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Now, to keep my head straight outside of crypto, this is what I do. If I want to keep my head crazy with crypto, this is the video I watch. It's a rainy day outside. Got to figure out if I'm going to run or hit the elliptical machine like a cardio princess. But until more news breaks, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.